guys, so it's Britt from Wevolve, aka the old Montreal Healthy Girl. And I know it's been a really long time since I've made a video, and I'm so excited to be back. I figured that I would start off this new video series talking about diets, right? I get the most amount of questions, pretty much probably 10 people email me a day asking me about what diet they should be eating. They're confused about diet. They're not sure where to start. They're not sure what to do. And they've heard so many different things and so much conflicting information. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about and reminding everybody why it's important to eat an alkaline diet. So there's a lot of reasons why you want to eat an alkaline diet, and we're going to kind of delve into that today. The first reason why an alkaline diet is so unbelievably powerful when you're looking to heal disease is because in general, alkaline foods are usually fruits, vegetables, sprouts, and these foods, they're higher in water content and they're very high in minerals. So when the body is sick, it means we're not as minerally active. Electrolytes are not as strong. The interaction between cells and the environment are not as strong. It's basically a devitalized sense of state of being. And so, people often know about heavy metal toxicity and how bad heavy metal poisoning is for us, but they rarely think about it in terms of how good minerals really are and how important minerals are in displacing heavy metals and filling the cells up with what they actually need so that the cells can electrically interact with the rest of the cells of the body and with the hormone glands, and so that the messaging can happen effectively. So minerals are absolutely critical for health. And I know when I was really sick, my minerals were completely off, and it wasn't even showing up in conventional testing. I was able to find more about it when I was doing hair mineral analysis, and simply I had, heart arrhythmias and a lot of signs of electrolyte and mineral imbalances, and I felt very tired and devitalized. And I know a lot of people that are going through health conditions are feeling the same way. So minerals are literally the building blocks of all new cells and the enablers of all communication between cells. So the second reason, and I touched base on it a little bit already, that you want to be eating an alkaline diet is because an alkaline diet, very simply, has more water. It's a more hydrating diet. Now, even if you cook broccoli, let's say, or you heat up apples, there's still a lot higher water content in even cooked alkaline foods than there typically is in more acid-forming foods. For example, beans, are much drier, even if they're raw and sprouted. Meats and things are very heavy and dense and dry. So when we look at foods that are more on the alkaline side, like the beans, like the nuts and seeds, like some of the grains, like the meats, these foods are a lot less hydrating. They're denser, and for that reason, they're harder to digest as well. When a food has a lot of water, it takes a lot of the burden off of the digestive system. And if you're looking to heal, the last thing you want is to be wasting a lot of energy extracting nutrients from food. The more energy you put towards breaking down food, the less expendable energy you have in a day to go towards inner healing and repair. The third reason why alkaline diet is so amazing is the electrical charge of the food. Now, this applies more to raw foods than it actually does to cooking, but there's still a higher prana or pranic value in alkaline foods, or basically plant foods, than there are in some of the more dense foods when they're cooked or even when they're leftovers or whatever. So when the body's sick, you're devitalized. If you're struggling with something, it doesn't matter if it's IC or arthritis or migraines or whatever it is that you're dealing with, you don't feel great, even if it's just eczema or acne. It's not like you feel amazing and you have acne. There's inflammation in the body that's contributing to why you have all of these conditions or symptoms. And that inflammation is really exhausting on the body's resources. It demands a lot of minerals to buffer and neutralize that. It demands a lot of water, and it devitalizes you to be battling anything, whether it's gut microbiome deficiency or whatever else. We don't want to be, like we said, wasting expendable energy that we don't have, breaking down foods that aren't as optimal for us. You really want the best bang for your buck when it comes to getting the most benefit from the foods that you're eating. The fourth reason, and this is a really big one, this might even be the single biggest one, it's that we live in a really toxic world, and people are sicker than ever. I get hundreds of emails a day sometimes from people that are all over the world struggling and sick. And it's really sad that this is the state of our world, but a lot of it has to do with our dietary choices and the environmental pollution that exists in our food, and the chemicals we're exposed to, and the artificial synthetics we're exposed to, and all the additives and everything else. So we really want to make sure when we're choosing foods for healing that we're choosing foods that have an alkaline residue, because a lot of environmental toxins and man-made chemicals and medications we're taking, or bad habits and lifestyles, choices that we're engaging in, like maybe we drank too much or ate too much sugar. A lot of these things are very acid forming. They leave a corrosive ash in the body. They literally corrode your cells. And what alkalinity does, it's like cool and refreshing. Think cucumbers and watermelon. Okay, these are very, very alkaline foods. Greens, wheatgrass juice. These are foods that really help to put out the fire of the inflammation. Now, everybody has different root causes to why they're sick, but in general, most of us will benefit from mineral-rich, hydrating, alkalizing, electrically charged foods when we're looking to heal. So why does pH matter? pH really matters because a lot of the environmental things that we come in contact with, the amount of stress we have when we don't sleep enough, these things all contribute again to too much acidity. So you want to manage your pH levels. You want to make sure that you have enough alkalinity in your system. Also, there's a really big aspect that people don't consider, which means that if you were born in the last 3-4 generations, you weren't given as many alkaline minerals and nutrient reserves at birth that our ancestors were given. And the reason is because there's just too much toxicity and too many man-made chemicals in the environment. Our parents were eating processed food. They were raised without being breastfed and on pablum, and we live more sedentary lives. Kids spend more time playing video games than they do outside, where they're actually getting exposed to biophotons from the sun and energy and minerals from the soil and beneficial bacteria. So our body has never been more, our buffer systems have never been more assaulted and abused on such a deep level and used so repeatedly without the replenishing of minerals. Now, even if you eat a plant-based diet, even if you eat a lot of minerals, unfortunately, chances are, if you're buying food from a grocery store and you aren't growing it yourself, even if you're getting from a local farmer, that's a lot better. But if you're not growing the food yourself or picking it right off the tree, and if your food is grown somewhere where a lot of food is grown for a lot of people and the soils are really depleted and there's monocropping and they're growing season after season after season, and it's more about quantity than quality, you're really dealing with a situation where the human body isn't getting everything that it needs. It's really just filling your body with empty space, basically. So our mineral nutrients are depleted, and we aren't getting the nutrients we need from our diet. We're not getting it from the environment, and yet we've been taxed, and more toxins have been introduced into our bodies than ever before in history. So it's so important to support your body through this detoxification process and to help your body, which, if you have any health conditions, is already struggling. So all of that said, you don't need to be a raw vegan to heal. And I hear this a lot. People get overwhelmed. They think that they have to go on a very extreme diet. They think that they can't find balance. They think they have to eat foods that they don't like, or they have to do incessant juice cleansing or mono diets or fasting forever and ever. And some of those healing modalities can be really helpful for shorter periods of time, or in severe cases of illness where detoxification very quickly is necessary. You can take the time to find a balanced diet. You don't have to be exclusively vegan. You don't have to be 100% raw. You don't. That might not even be what's best for you. You know instinctively what makes the most sense for you and what is the most sustainable for you long term in terms of your healing. But I would really recommend focusing your diet, no matter what you're eating or what you choose to do, on a large amount of alkaline foods. You can even eat that way if you choose to be keto. You can eat a lot of very alkaline plant fats like coconut oil and flax seeds and avocados. And you can eat tons of green vegetables and cucumbers and smoothies and sprouted almond milk, which tends to be more alkaline than other types of nut milk. So you don't really have to be eating very acidic foods to be able to follow virtually any extreme or different type of diet that you want. So you can really make this work with your lifestyle. I know for me it was really hard and it was really confusing at the beginning. So what I've done, if you don't know where to start and you don't even know what an alkaline or acid food is, what the difference is, you've heard conflicting information, I've put together a very comprehensive list of all of the foods, the most common foods that people eat, really like hundreds of them, including seasonings and sweeteners and all the stuff that you really want to know about. And I've put it into categories of like low, medium, high, alkaline versus acid, ash. And this isn't just, you know, like a lemon tastes acid when you consume it, but it leaves an alkaline ash. What I'm talking about is that what it leaves in your body after the body has metabolized it, okay? It's the residue that it leaves after you've digested it. And that's really the number that matters. That's what matters when you're looking at pH. So if you want that, it's free. It's a PDF document that I've put together that you can actually download. I think I'm gonna link it. Either I'll attach it into this video, I'll link it also in the description box down below, and you'll be able to access that, and that can kind of help you get an idea of where you should be in terms of eating. And you want to base at least 80% of your diet on these alkaline forming foods. I think that will usually take a lot of the heat and burning and pain and inflammation out of the body if you're dealing with any of those inflammatory or autoimmune conditions. It will help to hydrate the body and help the body to start to really eliminate the waste that isn't serving you. Also, the higher vibration, more alkalizing, mineral-rich foods, they tend to bolster your mood too, so you're going to feel happier and it's going to feel a lot more sustainable to continue with a lifestyle as you go through your healing journey. So I really hope that this helps you guys. I know it's really difficult to know what to do when you're starting, and I know that there's so much out there that can lead us to feeling confused. You're definitely not the only person who's struggling. I had a really hard time when I was going through my healing journey, and I just want you to know that this can really make a difference, and I really hope that it works for you, you know, and that you give it a try and put the active effort in, because it really takes a few months usually on any diet change to really start to see the benefits. So I'm super excited for your results. I really hope this alkaline food chart helps you. I'm sending all my love your way, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.